Hello, crafty people. How are we doing today? Today, right now, me recording this video, it is Sunday afternoon, and I am busy doing laundry and dishes and, you know, all that domestic stuff. And I thought, we're putting the brakes on that, and we're going to come do some crafting. So, what do you say we make a few things to kind of work through some of the scraps that we have left over? And I'll show you what I got. So this right here is a book page that I just collaged some of my scraps on. And on the inside I put a piece of paper to journal on. And you can stick this in your journal and glue the two sides or the three sides and make a pocket, or you can paper clip it, or just stick it in a pocket. So we've got that, and also another book page. And what I done here was I just grabbed strips that were laying on my desk. There was no thought to it. I just grabbed them, glued them down. First of all, took the book page and folded it in half, glued the scraps down. There was a little bit of text right down here, so I put washi tape on it, and I sewed and made a place where you can journal, and also you've got a pocket. Again, this can be glued into your journal as another pocket in the back, excuse me, or you can paper clip it onto a page or stick it into a pocket. And here we have a tag. But, oh, I didn't bring no extra paper. Oh my good gracious, what was I even thinking? So it's shaped like a tag, but we have this big pocket to put a tag in or whatever, and then we have a pocket on the front. Super easy. Again, same scenario. All three of these can be the same way. I'm not quite done with this. I haven't decided what to do right here. But again, this can be glued down, paper clipped in, or stuck in another big pocket. Excuse me. And then we have these scraps that I put together. And we've got a big pocket, and a pocket. And the same thing, you can glue it. You can glue it on these three sides and make a little side tuck. Just glue it straight down and have these, paper clip it, whatever you want to do. So, with that being said, these two we're going to set to the side. And we're going to start on these first, because these are going to have glue, and we want the glue to dry before we try to do any sewing. I did not turn my overhead light on, so give me just a second. Whoa, let there be light. Okay. Maybe now you can see a little bit better what we're doing. So I've got over here off to the side, I went ahead and got some of the stuff prepared so I'm not constantly walking away from the table here. So this right here is just one of the cover sheets out of an old book, and I'm going to trim this old stuff off of it right here. And you make this as big, or as wide, I should say, this way as you want it to be on your page. If you're going to glue it down. Otherwise, you know, if you paper clip it, I guess it doesn't really matter. So I just folded it. And then this side here, I mean, this book page had text on this side, which is why I'd done the strips to cover that up. But I thought it looked pretty darn groovy, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to totally just grab whatever is right here. I'm not even going to try to make any rhyme or reason out of it. I just want to glue it down and just make it, let the chips fall where they may, so to speak. Okay. Oh, by the way, did I say this is Missy with Time to Craft? Thanks for stopping by. I get so excited about crafting, I forget to say all of that sometimes. Now the only thing I'm going to do is get rid of that little hole right there. And we're going to ditch that. This is the edges off of some of my scrapbook paper pads. So it's kind of lumpy, bumpy, whatever. But I'm leaving it. I'm going to ink as we go along. This one here I don't really have to ink. But I like to ink it so you can kind of see the edges a little bit. Okay. So I got my glue here. Oh yeah. I'm just using the glue stick. Nothing fancy. Oh, good gracious, except for when I glue it together. Already. 5 minutes in and I just bumble it up, right? Which is okay. And I'm just going to do that right there. And I'm trying not to get any glue, sorry, on all this glue on here. I'm trying not to get any wet glue on my mat because I don't want it on the front if we're going to leave it open for journaling. So just be super careful. Okay. And now I'm going to start inking. And it doesn't have to be like extremely dark or anything. I just like it just to make it stand out a little bit on the edges is all. No biggie, no biggie. Okay, so. And then I just use some scrap paper, book pages, I'll get it out in a minute, out of a book to do my gluing on. Sorry, I'm shaking, I know it. Let me try to be easier. Don't need any motion sickness while we're crafting. Unacceptable. And as you can see, I am just grabbing whatever is laying right here next to me. I am not trying to match anything. I'm just using up these scraps that are laying around. You can make some really nice stuff out of your scraps, which is why I encourage you to always save them, no matter how big or small, because we can, I didn't ink, running my mouth. Because we can always find good use for them. We can make something. I just know we can. Everything's sticking to me now. Nice. Got a piece of parchment paper here. And it's already kind of got some distressing on the ends, so I am not going to do any more. I hope you can see me. I'm kind of stepping back a little bit. My fingers are so sticky already. Oh my goodness. The hazards of journaling, or making journals, I should say. Crafting can be dangerous. You just get glued to everything. I've got a lot of wet glue on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and ditch this. I've used this a few times. And grab another one. Okay. Using old book pages to glue your stuff is a great way keep your work surface clean. Right, and as you can see, it really doesn't take that much time to do this. If you just grab a handful of scraps and just start laying them down. I mean, they don't have to be color coordinated. That one's a little bit too small. That one's a little bit too big. Now I'm telling you, just grab something and look at me picking and choosing. Here we go. I think this is going to be perfect. So anyways, if you just grab a handful of papers and just throw them on your desk and just start grabbing a piece, putting it down, grabbing a piece, putting it down, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you end up with, without even trying to think about matching and a theme or whatever. And it's a super great way to use up those papers that you have, the scraps that you have, and you're making something super duper unique. Okay, so imagine that's trimmed off. There we go. And just like that, we've started our little pocket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this off to the side and let this dry. And while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. So this is one that I made, and this is another one that I made. And I made a pointy envelope type of top, and it's smaller. So either way, I mean, there's just no limit to how you can make these. It's just getting out here and doing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this back a little bit, and I'm just matching up my ruler to the edge of the text. I'm taking off that white. Now I'll put this in my papers to make homemade paper. Handmade, I should say, not homemade, handmade paper. And I'm going to do the same to this side. Awesome, awesome. So now all you're going to do, and depending on how you put your envelope, whatever you want to call this in, if you want it to be a free floating anything, you can always do something to the back. Okay, I think I'm going to put this in as some kind of a pocket that will fold down. So I didn't do anything on the back of either of these, and I'm probably going to have the same situation here. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm not going to fold it just yet because I want to see exactly where I want my flap to come down. Okay, that looks pretty good to me right there. And again, y'all measure this to suit your needs and to suit your journal that you want to put it in. Oh, and this, again, this is something else that you can just totally mass make and just have a bunch on hand and just start popping them into journals as you make them. Now, when I fold this down, this flap down, I do not want it to come all the way to this. I want to leave a little bit. I don't know, I got maybe about a ½ inch up there. Okay, easy breezy. Now, all we're going to do is just start collaging. And I just grab a piece of paper, kind of rip it up and give it a rough looking edge. ink it. And then I'm going to glue it. What I do is I try to lay it out first and just see how it's going to look before I glue it, because I want it to be see how it's going to overlay. Like this right here I'll probably put underneath. Okay, and I have a bunch of stuff here and I've got stuff over here, so I'm kind of going to be going back and forth between that pile and this pile. So if you see me slide away, know that I'm still grabbing from all the scraps. And again, I'm just going to do a little bit of ripping. So let me show you something. If you take this part and rip it away, you'll have a good clean edge. If you rip it towards you, you start to get that white. Did you know that? Now you do. That was a free tip. No charge. And I think I want to do that. My daughter-in-law is messaging me. If you hear my phone make weird noises. Today's my birthday, and she's telling me that my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter's been walking around all day singing happy birthday. She's my buddy. Okay, so I made this one a little bit short, so I think I'm going to start over with this piece. But I'm going to save this because we're going to do the top as well. There we go. And then I just need to get a little something to go right here in the middle. And I kind of want something a little bit darker to give it a bit of a focal point, but I don't know what I got over here. This is a lot of the stuff from the pink journal I was doing, so I got a lot of pink going on right now. You know what? Hold on a minute. We've got these strips. Yes, we do. I'm staying focused on that stuff over there. I keep forgetting I got this over here. It's because I want to get that cleaned up. Oh my goodness. And I want to get this so it's not straight edges and looking all boring. And it's a tiny piece of paper, so we're going to call that good. So now I kind of know how I want to lay it out. So what I do is I just ease it over this way. And I'm going to ink and glue. Ink and glue and place it all down. Get my paper that I've been gluing on. And I don't know if you can see me, but I am right here trying to glue. And I'm trying to do it without shaking everything around, which is easier said than done. There we go. And I've already inked this one for the other corner, so I'm going to go ahead and get that one glued. And I am right here in the corner, at the edge, I mean, gluing. Good gracious, it's wiggly. Okay, and then let's scoot this back just a little bit so we can see what we're doing here. So this one's going to go down next. Oh, let me cover my ink up. Oh my goodness. Dry ink is not fun when you're trying to do something. And I'm just going to ink around. I like the way the ink looks on the torn edges. And that's going to go right there. And I'm just gluing it with the glue stick. Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm gluing everything together right now. This one here is going to be next. So we're going to ink. And you guessed it, we're going to glue. Oh, I was just going to say I might have to get me a new glue stick, and look what happened. Yep, I'm going to have to get a new glue stick. Because now, oh goodness, we're down small enough that it won't stay in the tube. That's fine. We're going to use it right down to the very little nub. Okay. Alrighty, almost done here. Do a little bit of inking. And then we're going to just poke it right there. Oh, this is a mess. I wished I'd have known I was that low on my glue stick, because I was just out and about on my way home from church and stopped at the store. I could have picked some up. Okay. So there is the front part. Cute. We'll work on our flap. Let's see. I don't want to do a repeat of the colors that we've used here. So let me see what else I got. Okay, so I've got this. Let's use this. And we'll put this, oh, I say right about there. What do you say? Let me go. I have, y'all, when I tell you I've got scraps everywhere, I am not even kidding. I mean, just look at that right there, would you? I have them all over the place. Okay, I think I want to do one of these. Let me go on this side right here. And so if we put that there, do this here, we can always trim that bottom off a little bit. That's no big deal. Do we want to do it I think we want to do it that way. Okay. And I know I was just saying just grab a piece and go with it, but this is kind of a muted situation right here. These colors are muted, so I'm trying to reach in here and find stuff that's a little bit more with the same feel, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Well, I didn't like the way I ripped that one. And then I have this little scrap right here from a digital. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that as well. Just ripping off all the white part. Get that gone. And I'm gonna, whoops, see what I'm doing? I'm tearing it the wrong way. I kind of get that straight edge off of there. And I ripped it too much because, you know, that's what I do. But we have other projects, so that will not go to waste. I can assure you of that. I have so many little pieces up here, and I make so many journaling cards with this stuff. It acquires really quickly. I mean, before you blink, you're going to have so many pieces of scrapbook paper that you're going to wonder, what in the world am I even going to do with all of this? So, well, I'm showing you just exactly what can be. That matches almost way too much. I need something a little bit darker and probably a way to go. Here we go. Do we want, well, trying to find a solid piece of something in here so it doesn't all blend in like a bunch of floweries. Isn't it funny how I said, hey, just grab it and go with it, and now I'm picking and choosing what I'm trying to do here? Okay, so I'm going to get these edges ripped up a little bit, and I'm thinking that is going to be what we're going to work with. Okay, so now that I am pretty okay with how this is going to lay out, I'm going to slide this off and start gluing and inking. So we know this one here is going to be on the bottom. I am, oh, you can see me. I was going to say I'm over here gluing if you can't see me. This is pitiful. Look at it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go to my art glitter glue here in a minute. Which is okay. I mean, I like using up my stuff. So, I mean, that's what it's there for. I just did not realize I was that low on my glue stick. Okay, so this one's good. Oh my good gracious. This one's going to be next. I feel like I have glue sticks somewhere around here. I probably should go look and find them. And then, what did we say? This one, and then this one, right? Absolutely. Okay, now this one here is really gluey and sticky, so what I'm going to do is fold it in half and start using the clean side. This is funny. Ugh. Everything's sticking to me now. Look at that. That's okay. Oh, I I love it. So now I'm looking at this and I'm like, do we even need this one? Yeah, we do. I'm just going to go ahead and fold this one because now that I don't really have it in the tube, I'm just making a hot mess out of this. Okay. So we can do something kind of willy-nilly. Oh no, I got the straight edge on the bottom. There we go. Okay, so front, I'm not going to close this because you can see everything is wet, and that's the flap. So I'm going to set this off to the side and let that one dry. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, I'm going to go and wash my hands because this is really ridiculous. Oh no, I got baby wipes. Never mind. Baby wipes to the rescue. Always, always, always keep baby wipes on hand. Oh, yeah. So that is 2 of them. And once they dry, we'll come back and finish those up. I have so much glue on my mat. It is crazy. Okay, I think we're good there. So I'm gonna ditch. No, I'm gonna stick it back in here. There's a little bit left. Definitely use that up soon. Okay. I'm gonna scoot them little pieces over and I'll decide on those here in a minute. Alrighty, so what do we have next? We've got a mess going on right here. Let's get all that back out of the way and I'll put that in the tray. See this little strip? Save even those pieces. You can use these. I'll show you one day. Probably with that piece right there because it'll go in the green bean salad. Alright, so those are drying, and then of course I've got everything covered up. Here we go, here we go. So we've got these 2 left. Let's do this one. So my measurements, and these are my measurements, you know, again, do your own according to your journal and your needs. So what I did is I cut this one 7 tall and 8 long. So that's what I'm going to do at this page right here. I'm going about a 7 1/4 on this particular one because it has, well, I pulled it out of the perforated edges. That's the word I'm looking for. And I want to trim those off. And I guess you can tell we're going to fold it in half. Look at that. That is just the craziest stuff ever. How do I not even get it even? Ha! How do I not get it straight? Okay, so no worries. We're going to just take a little off. Fixed. You never even seen that coming, did you? Okay, so there. So 8. We're going to fold it in half, and then it's going to be 4 inches by 7. Okay, so then you're just going to take this and fold it down. However far you want to fold it. I mean, it can be just a little bit. You know, again, work this out the way you want to work it. Mine, I took it all the way to the edge, to the top right here, to this corner. No, I didn't. Oh, I'm just telling you, so very wrong. Oh my goodness. No worries. I'm sorry. Bad teaching right there. What I did before I folded was I cut my tag shape. So that, cut your one side, and however it was, flip it to this side and cut it. So, I mean, and you don't even have to do that way. I mean, you can just kind of eyeball it, but that way it'll give you almost the same. Y'all, I cannot believe I did that. Okay, well, yeah, I can. Okay, so now that we've got our tag shape, we're going to go to this point, okay? And then this is where you can roll it up. And make this as big as you want it. You can take it down farther, however you want the little flap to be. Now, you can leave the whole flap or trim it off. I'm going to trim it off. Look what I did. I got a whole fold right there. Are you serious? It's okay. Can't see it. Oh, well, not now anyway. So what I'm going to do is, here's my fold. And I'm just going to kind of... Can you see what I'm doing? Just cut it at an angle and make it however you want it to be. Whatever shape, whatever size. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue. I do just a little bit just to hold it steady, and then I'll let that dry before I do any stitching, because I don't want my needle going through wet gooey ink. So I'm just going to run a quick little thin line just to hold it. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. But yes, I can. Yes, I most certainly can. Scratch that thought. I'm telling you guys, when I do this, and if I make a mistake, I am not going to edit it out. You're going to see the good, bad, and the ugly. What I was doing, and you can do it that way if you want to, and just glue it down and decorate and get on with your day. But I want to come through and do some stitching on it before I get everything glued. See, on this right here, I stitched here. And then I went around and stitched. So once you glue it down, and if you leave it, you can't do it. You can do the faux stitching. But, so with that being said, I had already put thread in my sewing machine to do this one next. But I'm going to put you on pause for a quick second, change my thread out, and I will be right back, everybody. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hop over here and do a little bit of stitching right here on this little flappy thing, and then we'll finish this up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've got that sewed, I'm going to go ahead and glue the edges again. And oops, I don't need to glue there. And it's just going to be just enough to hold this down. I mean, barely any glue whatsoever. And of course, if you don't plan on stitching it, glue it like you mean it, people. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Alrighty, so I'm going to let this dry for just a second. Do a little bit of inking. So what I want to do is find, no, not find, I already got it, found. You know what, you guys, I did this backwards. Oh, I wanted this to be this. And then this to be the pocket. You know what's going to happen right now? You guessed it, buddy. Redo. Hey, look, and in my defense now, I got all of this stuff prepared last night so I would have it ready after I got home from church, and I could just sit down and do some crafting. And in my mind last night, after working a very, very long, hard day, it was a great idea. But then I was quite tired and apparently did not remember all the details. So with that being said, oh, the struggle is real sometimes. It is real. Okay, so I'm going to do the 7x8 again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Fold it in half, everybody. That's better. That looks more like what I had. And I will use this. This will not even go to waste. So no worries there. So what I'm going to do, as a matter of fact, I'm going to use this as template. There's that. Can you even believe it? Why, yes, I can. There we go. I tell you, just leave it all up to me. And just cut this however you want it to be. Now, y'all, for real, let me go and do some stitching on this one. Be right back again. Now I'm feeling so much better about all of this. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This video is really starting to run pretty long, so I don't know if I want to finish it up all in one sitting or try to come back and do part 2. I'm just not sure, because we still have to do this, and finish our other 2, which this is not going to be that big of a deal, but I don't want it running so long that you know, it just takes up too much of your time. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to glue this one, and then we'll call it a day. And this is just a very light gluing, so I can hold it shut while I sew this part. Okay, so I think, because I'm already 44 minutes into this, and we haven't even finished one completely. So I think what we'll do is we'll end it here, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up this pocket, we'll finish this up, and then we'll go ahead and make this. So I think that's going to be the best way to handle this right here, because like I said, I just don't want to take up too much of your time. So go ahead, grab your stuff, get caught up to the point where we are, and then we'll finish this up here in the very super duper near future, maybe even within a day. I'll do another video, finish this up, and then we'll just go on to the next. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you will, like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it, because sharing is caring. Don't forget. All right, everybody. Peace out. Stay blessed. Stay crafty. And I'll see you soon. Bye.